Simpson, Homer Simpson, he's the greatest guy in history. From the town of Springfield, he's about to hit a chestnut tree. Ah! Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another hit episode of the PCP edition of Is It Kino? I am Simian Jimmy's Treehouse, joined as always by Yoker2.
What it do, my fellow Bedrockians?
And a man who recently, despite, he might not know this, but he recently appeared in a Simian Jimmy Medea review, E. Rich McCoy.
Oh, wow. Wow, I can't even imagine what that would be about.
Yeah, so I finally got to the Medea movies that were covered on Is It Kino.
Uh-huh.
So at the end of my most recent episode,
I see.
I plugged in a little bit of our podcast. You might recall for Boo 2, you did not see the movie. I did, and we kind of played a game where you made predictions on what would be in the movie. Mm-hmm. But, you know, E-Rich, there was
predictions were shit.
There was a different version of E-Rich on the show that day.
Really? What was it? Which version?
You could say he was really vibing with the concept of Medea. And that the E-Rich of today might be shocked and horrified by the E-Rich of yesteryear. Oh, there's very much, I think the only things you said in the clips, as I'm plugging in what I was saying, was, oh, hell no. Oh, get out of there. Oh, just doing black voice, E-Rich.
Oh, hell yes.
It's very good.
Yes. The rare look at racist E-Rich.
Well, and now I'm working on the Medea's Family Funeral episode, which we also did in Is It Kino of you, me, and Florian. But you guys watched First Reformed, and I watched Family Funeral. I think you won a bet about the Oscars, and you got to pick a movie, and then I trolled you.
Okay.
Very epic troll. And
nice.
Florian in this 2019 Is It Kino is saying extremely racist shit. Like he was still in that mind space back then.
It's really amazing how much things have changed over the past couple of years, and I think we've all learned a lot about ourselves.
That's right. When we get a real leader up there, his name is Joseph, and he ain't no Cheeto, and he gets our tolerance levels just shoot up just like our vaccine levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the woke left are dead, dusted, so
they're not going to regroup for the midterms.
No.
I don't know. What's the future of the Democratic Party, E-Rich?
It's pretty shit right now. I don't know. AOC, I guess.
Well, I do have one other announcement before I get to the PCP poll results. Guys, this is episode 30 of the People's Choice Poll.
Okay. Not
that it means anything to you two, because you two have not been on 30 of them, but me and Weekend certainly have. So
tell us, Weekend, how happy are you to have been part of PCP for 30 full episodes?
E-Rich, what was your first PCP episode here? Was it...
Fucked if I know.
Were you on Hobbit Battle of Five Armies?
No.
Were you on...
I've already talked to fucking Florian about the fucking Hobbit movies. I'm not going to do that again.
Were you on the Twilight episode?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe you started then. I don't know. Were you on That's My Boy with Adam Sandler? That was right before Twilight.
Definitely not.
So you started at Twilight. You got in on Don't Mess with the Zohan. You won the poll with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Hell yeah.
We had a good year of 2024 was a good year for PCP. We did Power Rangers, Futurama movie, a Serbian film, 50 Shades of Grey, Shaggy Dog, Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, Norbit, Annoying Orange, Back to the Future, Good, Bad, Ugly, epic
that
movie.
Feature film.
Happy Gilmore, and now the Flintstones. So 12 great PCP choices.
That is a good year. It's a wild group of movies. I have to say.
Yeah, that's right. Criterion Collection, eat your heart out. We got the real People's Choice right here. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And it's too bad Weekend got abducted by China and could not be here for the epic 30th episode spectacular. Honestly, folks, we don't know where he is. We haven't heard from him all week, so the show must go on. It is what it is, etc. Speaking of Weekend, I need to take a look at the poll that got us here, because we were all severely embarrassed by Weekend's choice. He put My Cousin Vinny on the poll, and he said, yeah, it's a great Danny DeVito movie. And we're all like, oh, that sounds good.
God.
Nobody said anything. Like, oh, I guess so. I've never seen it.
We didn't speak up against that.
Nobody knew. You didn't say shit.
I thought he was just messing with me.
Well, towards the end of these things, I'm like...
See, at least I haven't seen the movie. You guys are the ones who look stupid.
Yeah. You know, I've definitely seen that movie. And Danny DeVito is definitely not in it. So.
How did nobody say anything? He was talking about Danny DeVito for a minute.
I thought he was like making like a funny Italian people joke, you know, like, oh, whatever the hell came to me, you know,
a bunch of wops who can tell them apart.
Whatever, you know.
Also on the poll was Punch Drunk Love only got 15%. Cousin Vinny got 28%.
I'm pissed. I bought my Criterion Collection copy of it as well in preparation.
Well, you got third place. Last place was my choice of Dinner in America, got 10%. And then with 46, Dinner in America, I don't know, some indie film. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But the winner was Eggy's pick of the Flintstones 1994. So in the month of December, Eggy has chosen 2 movies for us to watch, Boys in the Hood and now this.
We gotta stop this roll.
I think he's gonna win the poll again. Like, he's in tune with what the people want, clearly.
I have a real out of left field pick for the next one, so you'll wait and see that. But
I can't wait. Let's just do it now. Let's skip the movie review. Go straight to the poll.
In case you're wondering, I'm going to be putting up The Sunshine Boys, George Burns award-winning 1976 classic about 2 men from the vaudeville era who decide to do one last show, one last hurrah. And if anybody knows me, you know that I am a huge fan of vaudeville, and it's somehow slept under the radar.
And a huge fan of last hurrahs.
It beat like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for like awards that year. It's apparently a very decorated film that somehow is also to my taste, and it's been flying under my radar, so I need a reason to watch it. That's there you go, spoiler alert. But I'm glad. Speaking of award-winning films, okay, folks.
Did this win an award?
No, it didn't.
It should have. It didn't get nominated for costuming and set design? That's bullshit.
This film...
Best adapted screenplay?
The box office success, but this film The Flintstones was actually quite panned. And I think based on the current online reviews, I don't think it's really been given its due. And frankly, it's got a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think
it hasn't had a reclamation at all. It hasn't had people being like, you know what movie was really good and wasn't appreciated in the time? The Flintstones.
Well, I need to interrupt you real quick, Eggy, because you know how sometimes you'll want to tell like a really good racial joke and you won't realize somebody in the room is half that race. We've all been there. I should point out to you, Eggy, E-Rich only gave this a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd. He is the enemy that you're preaching about right now. He hates this movie. He's shitting all over it. He was not jerking off to Halle Berry like you and me were. He has no taste.
In the room right now.
This is clearly a 3 out of 5. It's a 3 out of 5.
Objection, Your Order. Look in your Letterboxd comments.
You agree with my... I think you're going to Wooga for that midriff.
That's right.
Let me tell you like this, okay? I'm going to give you the real deal. This is something that I need the audience to hear. One of these critical reviews from back when the film was released was from a Karen James from the New York Times.
Old school Karen.
And he said, I'm going to say this is probably a guy, but I don't know.
What?
Quote. There's a quote from the review, and I think this will really get the two camps get an understanding of each other here. Quote, the film is too faithful to the 1960s source material. It lacks modern pop culture references, end quote. So take that as you will.
Sharon Stone's not modern enough for you?
Well,
open-ended question, evidently.
Yeah, I think that there's an argument to be made that was very relevant in 1994. You know, she was on a run in the 80s or whatever, maybe even the 90s. I don't know.
Was Casino out by now?
This is 1994.
Oh no, that was 95, wasn't it?
Ah, shit.
I mean, the whole movie is a fucking Jurassic Park parody. Like, it opens with Steven Spielberg presents, and then it shows their fucking puppet dinosaurs. Like, that's not modern enough. The biggest movie of all time that just came out. That's not a timely enough reference for fucking Karen.
I was, well, I mean, I shouldn't say shocked. I'm just only paging over these reviews now, but I just think it encapsulates the idea. Like, I'm coming into this, and with the rough critical reception that was already out there, I thought, it's probably going to be just really unpleasant. And I thought, to be honest, I mean, I could maybe give this like a 4 out of 5. It was just
4 out of 5.
This hit on every level. I mean, it's it's visually beautiful. They do so much and so well. The pacing is right. It's got the good comedy. It's a Hanna-Barbera. They were alive still. They're
in the movie. Yeah, they're in the executives meeting.
Yeah, they're there directly.
Or one of them is.
I feel like it's really got very authentic Hanna-Barbera charm. To me, it feels
Joseph Barbera did say, I could have made it a better movie when he was asked about what he thought about the movie. So,
well, shoulda, woulda, coulda, Joseph. Well, you say it hits on every level, but give it a 4 out of 5. What's the dealio? Where does it lose that one bold star?
So where he's saying you could have made it a better movie, I think, if we're looking at it from like a real cinematic critique, it's like exactly a 90-minute runtime. It's kind of like a Flintstones episode, just deluxe, basically. Like as far as the plot goes, there's nothing too. There's not really a huge cinematic angle to it. It's basically just if you know what like a Flintstones cartoon plot is, and then basically we're just kind of expanding that a little bit to make it movie worthy. I think that's basically where they're at with it. But to me, it's executed exactly how it needs to be executed. I don't think that it would have benefited maybe necessarily from getting too much extra. I think it really just does things, and it's in a little bit of a smaller scale, but it really just does them so well, and the visuals and the design are so beautiful and complimentary and impressive that I think that whatever that writing and the story might lack in being really
simple,
trailblazing, and it's whatever the complexity in the story is lacking. I feel like the complexity in the direction and the design and the visuals and everything, and then there's not. I mean, Rosie O'Donnell, like, what do we think of her nowadays? She's not really been around for a little minute. She's in this film, and she's really, even her, she's coming in decently with the.
Don't read E. Rich's Letterboxd review.
She was probably the weak point, for as far as acting goes. But I mean, she does.
Right, I think he just hates her on a personal level.
Rosie O'Donnell fucking sucks. She sucks in this movie. She sucks generally. It's painful to watch her on screen try to be Betty Rubble.
Now you hate her because Trump hates her.
Character. Yeah, exactly. I kind of just follow whatever Trump says, and that's what I do.
Hey, when I was a kid, I was watching Who's Line and the Drew Carey sitcom, and when the war for who's the new Price is Right host, is it Rosie or is it Drew? I was in Camp Drew. I was glad when she got shit all over, and then Trump shit on all over again. So I've never had a reason to like this woman. What is she famous for?
She did like stand up or whatever, like how what's her name? Ellen. I think they both. Yeah. So she basically is like the fat Ellen.
If I recall,
not gay Ellen.
I remember on an episode of the Blank Check podcast, they were saying that she was like really big in kids entertainment, and as kids they really liked her, but I guess I missed out on that.
So Tarzan, she was in Tarzan. She was Tark in Tarzan.
The little monkey? Yeah,
the little monkey.
Okay.
So you don't know that
there's little monkeys in this film.
Yeah, there are. They like. I was really expecting a racist joke of them to give the monkey back to the black lady and be like, "This one's yours."
I think Florian from 2019 is taking over E-Rich. So let's go back. We haven't really bitten and chewed up all of what Eggy had to say. I would say this movie works extremely well if you're a genuine fan of the Flintstones, and I did watched those cartoons as a kid, so I understood all the references. I can't imagine the reaction of somebody who goes into this movie completely blind, cold, does not know what the Flintstones are. It's got to be very confusing because they expect you to know the cartoon to understand the movie. And cinematically, they're doing a lot of funny references, like in the cartoon, they would reuse the same background when they're in the car over and over again to save animation and money. So in the movie, like the same exact shot of the Vasquez Rock that we just talked about in the AVGN movie, like the exact same shot used multiple times in a row. Like, I guess they're teleported back so that they're closer to it again as they're still going down the road. So that was funny. But do you guys think this would work at all for somebody who doesn't know what the cartoon is? Like, it's very specifically only for the fans?
No, because like the only good thing it's really got going for it is that like some of the actors are good at embodying those specific characters, but I think outside of that, it doesn't really strike you. Like, I think the plot is so simplistic and so like it would easily be done in a 20 to 30 minute long little cartoon. So it's just stretched to the point where I don't think it makes enough of an impression on its own if you don't already know what they're doing, that it's of interest to anybody.
But luckily for them, the Flintstones are a cultural touchstone, and the movie was successful enough to warrant a sequel. So, you know, a prequel. I guess,
excuse me.
Oh, was it a prequel?
It is a prequel.
Bam Bam's not in the movie?
Don't believe so.
Oh my God.
Well, you know, I've seen some, you know, children of a young age get taken to Las Vegas. From my understanding, they don't go well there. They kind of, you know, it's not a good place for children, even if they try to market it that way.
Even if Cousin Joey takes poor Chucky to Vegas many times to sit in the hotel room. It is what it is, addiction tube.
Can they just sit at the buffet? Like,
you think Cousin Joey cares about his family? he brought them there as anchors. He had no choice.
Take them to the Sphere. They can see the Grateful Dead.
I think he just takes them to the hotel room and then leaves and comes back 20 hours later after he's lost everything, and then it's time to go home. Yeah. It is what it is.
Okay, let's talk about this amazing cast. John Goodman, I love him in everything he's ever done. He's playing Fred Flintstone. But I would say the standout for me is Rick Moranis as Barney.
Yeah, Rick Moranis rules.
Because, you know, I've only seen 2 or 3 Rick Moranis movies, like Ghostbusters and the musical with the plant, whatever the fuck. But
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, to me, I never see him as a character. He just always looks like himself because he's a distinct little short Jewish man or whatever. Yeah. But I felt like he disappeared into the role of Barney Rubble, and I was sincerely impressed. Like, I didn't see the actor. I saw fucking Barney as a human. Did you guys get the same impression?
He's very good, and dare say, I think he's better than John Goodman. I think John Goodman occasionally is trying to do the Fred Flintstone voice, and that he like falls out of the voice sometimes. But like, I think Rick Moranis is like kind of just doing the halfway between his own voice and doing Barney Rubble, and that comes much easier to him than sometimes John Goodman just straight up doing Fred Flintstone voice.
Well, I think that John Goodman, to me, he has sort of an inherent intensity to him, which, you know, that's just how I feel. Like, not every role, but like something about it kind of just seems like he carries himself a little. I guess that's how I feel like he's got like an intensity to him in this character. Sometimes, like, this is what I feel like on certain points in the screen with certain tensions. I don't know. It's just what I was picking up, and I feel like in the show, Fred Flintstone is very kind of he's gonna end up in some kind of situation where a dinosaur, Wilma's gonna like hit him with a rock. He's gonna be like, "Oh, well, what was that for?" or whatever, you know. But I feel like maybe he was a little, the energy with him was just a tiny bit off. I don't think they probably could have picked a better person to fit the character physically in on a visual level that I could think of, but. Yeah, I'm going to echo that Rick Moranis, I think, was definitely the star actor here out of the 4 main characters.
And I think it's because Fred Flintstone is a hard character to portray, because if you have this big guy, little guy duo, and the little guy is the smart one, the big guy is the dumb one, and we have a plot that hinges on Fred possibly being the dumbest man literally alive. Like, there's only 4,000 people, and he gets last place on the aptitude test. So he's like this literal retard. He has nothing going on upstairs, so there's not really much for John Goodman to embody other than this moment-to-moment aggression and threatening to attack his mother-in-law.
His bitch of a mother-in-law.
Yeah, so it's much easier for Rick Moranis to embody, like, the smart, cunning guy with, like, a heart of gold who's a great friend no matter what. There's a lot more to do with that character, I think, than, like, Fred Flintstone's. He's like a Homer Simpson who's not funny. Like, he's just stupid. And I don't really... Does anybody like the character of Fred? Like, maybe in the cartoon he's much better, but I didn't really like him.
Well, he's kind of... I think, like The Simpsons is sort of has... later on is based off of like this Flintstones archetype. It was sort of the blueprint for the animated sitcom family. So he's sort of, well-meaning, although I will say at one point, towards the apex, the climax of this film or whatever, he's kind of a jerk, but he's kind of well-to-do, stupid. He just wants to do well for his family at the end of the day, but, he's getting into some wacky shenanigans from his own stupidity on the way there. I believe the phrase harebrained scheme comes up pretty early on in the film here, and I believe that's pretty recurring throughout the actual series. Like, he's always got some kind of, scheme to get some money or whatever the case may be. So
the one quality he does have while watching this movie is that he is asking to, like, read the documents that he's constantly signing for them, but he doesn't ever actually he's always just distracted. Like, it makes it seem like he is just an idiot who wants to do the right thing initially, but is so easily, like, distracted and turned onto a different path that he just allows the evil to happen. Which, honestly, that's the everyman story is. Yeah, you're the one at the camps who's like, I don't really know what these documents are saying. Something about rounding up millions of people, but
it's a story about how, like, I think that, like, the metaphor and the fun is that this is a story literally as old as time, where the people who, like the 1%, will pluck the stupid people to be in middle management to be the bad guy for, like, the masses, the 99% that work under them. And that's essentially what the plot is. And I would like to point out, this entire movie is a big fucking plot hole that makes no sense. Do you guys know immediately what I'm talking about?
What? Surely the 99% would
rise
up and destroy the 1%?
The entire plan is we need to find the dumbest retard who works here to be the new manager so that he fires everybody and they get pissed at him. So they do an aptitude test, but they legitimately take the highest score, which, like, Fred switches his score with Barney, so they think Fred legitimately got the highest score. Why would they not go for who gets the lowest score, since they need the hapless retard in that position? Like, why are they literally going for the smartest guy? It's completely against their plan, and it just coincidentally works because of the switch.
I mean, were they going to butter up the rich guy anyway?
They just needed somebody stupid to take the blame and fire everybody. That's the whole plan.
Yeah, but I thought the plan would have been you kind of, like, float a bunch of rich guy stuff towards the smart person. You kind of, like, because, like, you need to show that they're embezzling money. So
but wouldn't a genuine smart person actually read the documents he's signing? Like, they need somebody who's not paying attention, who's distracted and not signing anything.
I just think they would have worked stuff in eventually. Like, you have it be a bunch of, like, innocent shit for the most part, and then you just let the volume of things that he's signing just get more and more.
This guy literally betrays Halle Berry. I don't think he planned on making anybody richer other than himself. Like, there's no part of the plan where he wants to take somebody from the muck and embolden and biggin them. He's just shitting on everybody.
I'm going to agree now that you're bringing it up. Yeah, that is a plot hole that doesn't seem to really have any sensible resolution. Because even if we were going to assume that he's going to maybe, cut them in on something or, have some sort of windfall for them when they get taken out or get expelled or evicted, whatever, from their position after they do all the dirty work. So as I think about it, I'm going to take this down to maybe about a 3.5.
Hey, you don't have to change your score.
We can go lower. We can go lower.
Movies having a plot hole doesn't make them like lose stars, in my view. It doesn't ruin how much you enjoyed the movie, does it?
Well, I mean, it's just something that would probably,
Yeah, Eggy's saying if he went to revisit the movie, he'd be like, "Oh, this is harming my ability to believe in the world of Bedrock."
Oh, I've ruined it for him.
I mean, it just isn't. It's like I'm looking at the film as a whole. I'm looking at it at every piece. Like I said, it wasn't certainly not a 5-star film, but there's pieces that come to make this score as a whole for me. And I think, as I think about it, and I do reconsider some of the writing. And maybe I'm going a little bit Fred Flintstone mode and just kind of rolling with the punches to my face, and losing some IQ. Yeah, I think that I don't know if I could resolve that with anything that the film gave me to try and, justify it and cope with it. So it's a fair point.
And at the end of the day, it's a live-action cartoon. We're not necessarily looking for a perfect plot with no holes and amazing character story. I'm very satisfied with what the film gave me. I love that they built all these amazing sets that, like the cave house and all the vehicles. We've got a practical Dino the dinosaur, which is he sometimes CGI when he's running around and then...
Yeah, he's definitely CGI when he's running around.
But then there's a CGI saber-toothed tiger that jumps into the window and locks out Fred at the end, of course. They recreate a shot-for-shot remake of the theme song opening to the show.
Right.
It was beautiful.
When it ends, they do the same thing for the end credits.
Yeah, so I'm very satisfied just on that level of the attention to detail of bringing this show to life. There's lots of amazing puns, awesome animal puppets for the jokes of the dish or the... What is it? The garbage disposal is a warthog that just lives under the sink.
Pig thing. Yeah.
And it's not working, and Fred shoves his whole fist down its throat, and this puppet is screaming in horror and pain as he's being choked by Fred's arm, and he pulls something out to fix him. I loved all of that. That was just some puppeteers put their life's work into this movie, and I thought it was beautiful. Even if the script has some holes, everything else holds it up for me.
I like the bird that is the recorder bird. Yeah, the parrot thing.
Yeah, he kind of has a character arc. He becomes friends with Fred over the course of their...
He's super smart, and when he's paired with Fred, he doesn't like Fred really, but then he understands the plight of the common man. And
just like Halle Berry, she's manipulating Fred and then realizes he's a true soul, a good guy, and it betrays her boss at the end to help him out. Mm-hmm. And she's also extremely sexy, guys. I don't want to be posting horny on Maine, but this is my side channel, so fuck it. Guys, if you watch this movie for anything, watch it to see the hottest short-haired woman you will ever see. I believe it's 28-year-old Halle Berry. I think she was about that age in this movie, so... Okay. Basically my age. If I could go back in time, we'd be a perfect pair. But alas, I can only enjoy her through this film that came out before I was born, so...
Pant, awooga, what other things? My entire face turns into a steam whistle. And...
You're out there hollering like a woolly mammoth's trunk with no shower equipment.
If we're doing a tier list of the women, Halle Berry S tier, Wilma, yeah.
B.
Rosie O'Donnell, F. Are there any other women in this?
Z.
Hey, we could just take her off the list. She doesn't count as a woman, I guess. Any other women?
Mother-in-law.
Yeah, the mother-in-law. She also B.
Better than Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
She definitely beats Rosie O'Donnell. There might have been some at the scene when Fred gets the surprise party thrown for him getting the position, which he's told about. He gets the party thrown for him directly after Mr. Vandercave, his boss, tells him you got to fire Barney Rubble because he got the lowest test, which is actually what Fred got. So you got the lowest test, you got to fire him. And then
Fred betrays his friend.
Yeah, so there might have been some women
instantly
in there. Yeah, he doesn't. He just doesn't go.
He felt bad about it. I just feel like Fred is a bad communicator. Like if he would have just said, "Hey, they're putting me in this position. They're saying I have to fire you, or they're gonna fire both of us. So like what's the trolley problem here? Like, I guess you got to go either way. So, but no, he just says you're fired, Barney, and he walks away. Like, what the fuck? Just explain.
They never had Fruity Pebbles. Nobody ever stole Fruity Pebbles. They never had Flintstones vitamins. They never had. Did they sell insurance? Maybe that's just peanuts.
Probably.
Insurance.
They sold cigarettes.
I'm so pissed. Oh yeah, they never once smoked a cigarette either. Bomb, my lucky strike, eh?
Was there no cigar in the movie? Maybe when he was rich in the hot tub, he didn't smoke a cigar?
They need whatever brand Fred Flintstone smokes.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. Not a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, there's a lot of good monkey hijinks at the quarry when they're taking the aptitude test. One of the cavemen is copying off of an orangutan. So humans have not evolved to be all smarter than monkeys. Like, we're about on the same level still, because these monkeys they're adopting babies. They're just living among humans like it's normal. Was that in the cartoon? Did they live alongside monkeys?
I
don't remember that.
But I've only watched like one season of the Flintstones, and there's like 12 seasons, so maybe they get there eventually.
Is there 12 seasons? I feel like there's only like 60 episodes,
3
right?
or something.
Yeah, it's only like 60 episodes, I thought.
Maybe you're right.
And the Jetsons, I think, only got 1 season or something.
Oh, no, actually, there's 6 seasons, totaling 166 episodes.
Jesus Christ.
Of the Flintstones? Wow.
Yep.
I gotta catch up, I guess.
My bad. I guess it just seems like with how many episodes there were, but yeah, it's like, because it's like 28 episodes a season or whatever, so I guess I had it wrong in my mind, but yeah, there's plenty of Flintstonery. It was 25 minutes an episode, ran from September 30, 1960 to April 1st, 1966.
And you're not putting Viva Rock Vegas on the poll, you're putting some other bullshit.
Yeah, I'm making the executive decision because I was, watching some George Burns, and then I was like, oh, he won the Oscar that year, and he beat out like all these incredible films that are like incredibly decorated. Somehow I never heard of the Sunshine Boys, so I was like, you know what, I think it's out there. It's out there for me to grasp. But yeah,
stop your clicking, because you're doing that damn clicking thing again. And let's do a wrap up, okay? You guys have any final thoughts on The Flintstones Rated R?
This takes me back to when I was watching this movie on cable. It was, let's say, 2004, and I've got my Comcast set up, and so I get a knock at the door. I go and answer this door.
Oh, just like Eggy this morning.
Yeah, exactly. This
Eggy
very
got
suspicious
served
looking
this
man.
morning.
This very suspicious looking man asked me to come into my house, and I just say, no, go away. Close the door. Suddenly, I see flashing lights outside of my door, and then police knocking very loudly, saying, open the door! Get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. They do walk the dinosaur in this movie.
Wait, they did that song? I must have missed it.
They do the beginning of it.
Okay. Does he ever take Dino for a walk like a dog? They really missed they could have done that great joke.
Really should have. This is an alright movie. 2 stars is maybe a little bit ungenerous, but
yeah, it's cruel and unusual. I think we should start a petition. Erich needs to up his score to 2.5. If we get 500 signatures, would you change your score?
I was say we need a what are those polls that people put up online?
Like change.org?
Change.org. We need a change.org petition.
Well, how about this, Erich? I'll make a deal with you. You recently you quit Twitter and you moved to Blue Sky. If we can get more signatures than you have Blue Sky followers, will you change your score to 2.5?
Absolutely. It's not going to take very long.
How many followers do you have? Like 20?
20, 30. Yeah. Here, let me check.
Have you hit up Obama to give you that refollow?
I was going to say, as soon as I get that, it's all over.
It's
32
over. Followers. Oh, wow. Okay. If we can get 33 people in the comments. 33 comments on this video say, I declare, Erich, what should your, damn, I'm fucking it up now. I wanted like an epitaph name for you in the middle there, but I fucked it up. I declare, as a commenter on this video and a petition signer at heart, that E-Rich, Mad Dog Tannen McCoy needs to upgrade his score. And you don't fuck this up. Include even what I'm saying literally right now in the comment. Every single word you hear needs to be in it. I think
2.5?
E-Rich should change his score from 2 to 2.5. Now, hopefully one person does this and everybody else can copy paste because it's going to be a lot. Yeah, right. But and you can stop typing right now. If you type all that and we get 33 comments, E-Rich will change his score.
If you were smart, you would write down exactly what you said and then put it in the description of the video so people can easily copy paste that. But I'm sure one of our insane listeners will actually type out everything there.
I think YouTube transcribes automatically.
I don't know. I mean, I was definitely butting in there a couple of times. So
well, they need to include you too. I said every single word.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Everything
cool.
They heard in that time frame.
It's gonna look like gobbledygook.
Yes.
If you're not doing it for the score, I mean, do it for 28-year-old Halle Berry. She's probably following E-Rich's letterbox, and when she saw that come through, she's like, damn, I wasn't bringing enough to the table. I wasn't serving enough stone looks in this film for E-Rich to even consider a 2.5. Her heart's breaking right now, folks. This is in the arms
I'm so sorry, Halle.
of an angel.
You deserve so much better.
Get your comment right now.
What are your final thoughts, Eggy?
Well, there's one thing I wanted to touch on for one of my final thoughts here. We talked about how the puppeteering in this film is really great. I actually feel that the CGI holds up amazingly. I was watching this, I had the screen right up next to my face. I was watching it on my laptop in bed, and it's obviously CGI, but the way that it interacts, whatever fill in they have physically moving, they got the shadows and everything with the CGI models. There's never a point where it seems so tacky and so dated. It seems like it's very well done. The effects in general, and the designs, costume sets, we've been over this, but really enjoyed all of that. I think, I do let my personal biases get into my opinions of films sometimes. More often, I think positively, because if I'm feeling overtly negative, I try to see the bigger picture more than maybe if I'm just already enjoying it. So I think it's, at the end of the day, if you're a real Flintstone head and you kind of ignore a couple inconsistencies, this one, you're really going to enjoy it. I was completely flabbergasted based on the critical response. I thought it would be terrible, but I'm a real Flintstone head. I enjoyed it, and I think everybody else, it's still got enough there that it's enjoyable. So I've got to say, thumbs up, man, a 1.5 thumbs up, like a thumb and a knuckle, okay? You should give this the time of day and check it out.
Can you give us a classic Wilma?
What?
Damn, Discord cut you off.
Yeah, I completely cut off, so try again.
Try again.
Okay. I'm trying to tone it down a little bit. Where?
Well, we heard half of it.
All we got is Wilm.
Yeah.
Maybe if I push the microphone back, it won't explode so much. Let me try this.
Yeah, this is important.
Okay. Where?
No. Well, so all the times I scream at you guys just don't hear it?
No.
Oh,
we
my God.
Basically every time.
You got to listen to the podcast to get the full experience. You don't even know what happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
I got too much bedrocky and energy. I'm going F and just, blowing it up. It is what it is.
My final thoughts are, personally, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I would not recommend somebody else spend their time on it. It's extremely short, 90 minutes, and you can see at the exact 30 minutes in Act 1 ends, 1 hour in Act 2 ends. You could see the exact structure of the screenplay unfolding. But I like shitty puns, so the humor was fine. It's almost exclusively just shitty puns, where you replace every word with rock or stone. Very lazy in some ways. I think the smartest joke was saying that the inventor of the wheel was named Firestone, and it's a tire company. I bet Florian would have got a big kick out of that one. Rest in peace. 3 out of 5, folks. Go in if you want to, but definitely skippable. And with that being said, I am putting Viva Rock Vegas on the PCP poll because I need to see what else John Goodman's got going on.
Never seen that one.
Oh, of course not.
I think I've heard that somehow it's better, but that doesn't seem right because none of the actors are back.
No, wait, none of the... What?
Yeah.
Who's in this movie?
None of the main principal
John Goodman's not in it? Okay, I take it back.
Not there.
It's not on... Never
Never
mind. It's a completely different movie then if it's just different actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got Mark Addy, Stephen Baldwin, Kristen Johnson, and Jane.
What a downgrade. Stephen Baldwin, one of the lesser Baldwins.
And then even the highest Baldwin's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say this at least because, maybe we need a little palate cleanser, do a couple more movies, and maybe we can come back to it. But curiously enough, critically, it says critics considered this an improvement over the first film. So since I enjoyed this so much, I mean, it's got to be good, right? Yeah, so maybe.
Well, maybe you can put it on next month because I changed my mind. I wanted to see the same cast back, and I was robbed. I did see that the director of this movie evidently did a live-action Scooby-Doo movie in 2009 called Scooby-Doo: The Mystery Begins.
The fuck?
So I'm putting that on. We're gonna go back to the Velma fan club.
We're gonna de-inter or whatever the Velma fan club. Disinter. Wait.
It's up to the patrons. But Eggy, can you spell out what is the movie you're putting on so I can make this list proper?
Sunshine Boys? Is that one?
Sunshine Boys. Okay, 1974. You said.
I think it's 76, but I can double check here.
We've got Scooby-Doo. And what are you doing here, Rich?
I am doing Theodore Rex, the buddy cop comedy with Whoopi Goldberg and a dinosaur.
What year was that? Like 1997? It was probably right after Jurassic Park, just like all these other dinosaur movies.
Let me look it up. I've never seen this movie, so I really can't tell you anything about it other than it's her with a dinosaur.
Yeah, I only like Whoopi from
95.
Rat Race. Okay, Rat Race. Or 95. I think I'm going to finally make my Simian Jimmy video about Rat Race as soon as I finish Medea, and I'm down to the last two of those. So, more Whoopi reviews in the future, but let's see if the people vote for Theodore Rex, Scooby-Doo: The Mystery Begins, or Sunshine Boys.
Interesting pick. Probably Scooby-Doo wins, if I had to guess.
Almost certainly.
Motherfucker.
If you want to make one last-minute correction, I actually was 1975 for The Sunshine Boys, Walter Matthau and George Burns. Two greats together on screen.
Should we try to prognosticate what Weekend would have put on the poll and then include his option?
Well, maybe we could, if he didn't win last time, we could just reuse it, maybe this time.
Yeah, a proven loser to compete with. My Cousin Vinny? I don't know. I think he's lost the right to talk about My Cousin Vinny after that fucking travesty that embarrassed all of us.
Should we perhaps
ban him from the show? I agree.
He likes Danny DeVito so much. What's a great Danny DeVito film?
I don't think he does. He clearly doesn't know who Danny DeVito is. If he's seen My Cousin Vinny, I think he's a fan of Joe Pesci. Eggy, not. Yeah, fuck him. He's not here. It's only 3 options this time. Anything else you guys want to talk about while we're here?
Well,
Eggy, do you want to talk about getting served?
Yeah. I was going to get up. I like to, when we do these Saturday morning recordings, after I, do my crazy Friday night situations, I usually sleep in until the last minute. So it was about 5 minutes before my alarm was going to go off anyway. And all of a sudden I just hear like, and I'm like, why would I get a knock on the door at like 10:30 in the morning? Doesn't sound right. I must have been imagining it, but I kind of like, I better go check. So I look out my window and I see the post office guys standing there. So without putting pants on, I go and I kind of just like crack the door open a little bit. I'm like, what's up? And they're like, you need to sign this legal document and say that you received it. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me get pants on. So I closed the door in his face and, got pants on, came back, signed off on it, and he handed me a federal enclosed document. So I opened it up and it said, that I had a $40 fee that apparently I didn't pay like in 2023. So
a fee of what?
I don't from the state. I don't know what it was exactly. Maybe it was. It must have been something to do with, I'm guessing, maybe taxes, because I did just repay some audited taxes. So maybe there was like the 1% left or something that they forgot to take from me. So, but hey, you know what? If they can come get it, yeah, come and take this $40. I'll hand it to you if you bring the judge. But yeah, so that document's just laying on my floor because as soon as I opened it, I just threw it on the floor, and I got a shit to do right now.
Do you still owe money to the city of New York?
No, I did pay that. I believe like the last day that I could, because I was like, it wouldn't have been anything too bad. It would have just gone from a $25 citation to a $125 if they'd been able to catch me. But they might have been able to catch me. They might have seen me.
Erich, do you have any run-ins with the law you would like to chat about?
The fictional one I talked about earlier.
Okay. What about Pokemon Go? How come you're not sending me a gift every single day?
I have not received a gift from you.
That's bullshit. If I go look right now, it's gonna have a little arrow that says you haven't opened my gift from a week ago, motherfucker.
I opened all my fucking gifts last night at 4 a.m. So,
son of a bitch. Fine, I'll have to send you a new one then. I'm trying to get everybody up to 4 stars so I don't have to send them a gift ever again.
I want to apologize to all of my Pokemon goers. It's just been pretty cold out, so I've played it very not so much. I don't think I have a 7-day streak this month yet. I think like my first day on my streak is still November 1st. I just kind of log in and like send gifts occasionally and open stuff occasionally just because I'm not really getting out there like that when it's cold.
Yeah, I've been depressingly going on my treadmill, not getting any points, no candies for my Pokemon. All this walking for nothing.
What the fuck?
Improving my health.
Whatchamacallit on?
It doesn't count if you're walking in place, Erich.
It sure does.
Pokemon Go does not count if you're walking in place. I don't have a fucking watch.
Okay, well then you can't fucking... Okay, well, that's your fault then.
Pokemon Go would not count walking on a treadmill. Like, it's a GPS that measures how far you've traveled to give you candy.
I think if you have like a step counter on your fucking thing, it counts your steps.
Is that a thing, Eggy? You're the expert here.
The only Pokemon Go accessories I'm familiar with are the one that we already have, and I don't think that's...
It's not a pedometer for sure.
Yeah, doesn't do anything extra there. But maybe there's some kind of like homebrew system out there, but I am not familiar with it personally.
Anyway, my Ekans is going to take a long time to evolve.
Adventure something?
Not much of an adventure if it's meant for a treadmill.
Maybe here's what you could do: just take your phone and make some kind of like a kite, make it like fly up in the air in a circle. I don't know how you're gonna make this. Maybe like attach it to a drone and just have it like spin in circles inside your house.
I mean, I don't play the game to cheat the game. I appreciate the working out element of it. I just, it's too cold to incorporate both at the same time is the problem.
That's true. I guess it would be kind of silly to
cheat in Pokemon Go. Like, who fucking cares? It's meaningless. But
all right. According to Google, the game uses your phone's GPS and a pedometer to measure distance. When you're on a treadmill, your GPS might not show much movement, but the pedometer on your phone, which counts steps, can still track your activity.
So I have to have my phone strapped to my thigh on my treadmill when I'm running naked?
Possibly.
I don't think so.
You have to have Adventure Sync on. You fucking dumbass.
Even as you're reading the rules, I still don't believe you, and I think it's made up. I don't think you can get Pokemon Go candies walking in place.
That's the Google AI summary that's just pulling from like fan pages about, what they would like to have.
It's coming. They're pulling from Erich's Reddit account where he gave bad information.
All right, you have to, number 1, enable Adventure Sync. Number 2, close Pokemon Go fully before you do it, and then it says run with your phone in your hand.
How is that how a pedometer works?
I have no idea.
Could I just swing my hand while sitting on the couch?
Yeah, I mean, that could definitely
This sounds
work.
like grade A bullshit.
Well, I think you should try it out and see if it does anything for you.
We will be back with more PCP next year. Probably watching the Scooby-Doo movie that nobody's ever heard of. We might be the only people to ever review this 2009 Scooby-Doo live-action movie.
Scooby, meet the Scooby. He's a talking and weed smoking dog.
You guys want to plug anything?
Oh, shit.
I
always forget what my fucking Blue Sky handle is. It's Revan1138 .bsky.social. The fucking B-Sky part pisses me off.
I'll probably just link to your letterbox like usual. I'm not going to bother finding a Blue Sky link.
I don't
mind. You should do, just pay 99 cents for a URL like erich.com or something, and then it just redirects to your Blue Sky, so you'll never need to type all that stuff in.
Tiny URL / erich.
Yeah.
What about you, Eggy? What's going on Rumble and on Yoker too?
Well, I still need to get this super spicy food review out. It's very minimal work to do. I just haven't done it yet.
I haven't heard about this, have I? What's this spicy food?
Yeah. Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be out, so I can just, go.
Well, we've heard that before, and it was proven wrong. So don't count your chickens yet, Eggy. But what's going on? Fair.
Well, the ghost pepper chili that was so spicy that Walmart no longer carries it. It was too spicy, so I got that can off the clearance rack, and I'm going to give it a review. See how spicy could it be that it needed to be pulled from shelves. We're going to find out.
I like the idea, but then also on one level, this is a video of a man reviewing clearance rack beans, and it's like a Randy the Wild Horse video almost, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty kino.
If there was such a thing, such a genre as man eats clearance rack beans, that would really be my documentary.
I think there is. So. I think you're incorporating the genre right now. It's a subgenre for sure, but.
And if you want the other genre, which is man drinks and plays dating simulator game, then that's on rumble.com/c/EggyWet. We beat our dating sim game last night. It was actually really difficult, just like in real life. And I was gifted another very similar game, so that's going to be next up on the list for us.
Do you think this Japanese dating game is Japanese, right? Do you think this dating game is giving you lessons you can use for real life dating?
But it's Korean, first off. I'll just let that be known. But I don't know. It seems maybe a little bit unrealistic because basically the premise of it is this guy, like he lives in his parents' house, but they go off on like some long work trip or something. And so in the meantime, for money, he posts a thing for, I got rooms for rent. And everybody who comes to rent these rooms are all Korean supermodels. So, and also they just mysteriously enjoy his presence and company. Maybe he's got that aura and riz that I don't know about. But they're just like perfectly fine. There's like multiple options where you're just like kissing them while they're asleep, and then they just wake up and they just don't mind at all. And they're like totally fine and just continue. So maybe that's harassment. I think I've heard that term before. But in any case, yeah, just out of pretty much nowhere, we beat the game, and it's like this woman who her father's like this rich guy who owns this company, and he just like gives you a bunch of money, and he's like, well, hey, my daughter, I had an arranged marriage for her with a successful businessman, but we just want, I guess we're cool with you, so here's a bunch of money, and here's my hot supermodel daughter, so yeah, here you go, you win.
So a bit of a fantasy game.
Yeah, it might be a little bit unrealistic, but this next one, it's you're like the manager for or some, I don't know exactly your position, but like the 5 girls in this next game, or 4 or 5 girls, they're all members of the same like girl band, and so it's going to be an interesting dynamic there. The one we just played, they're all from like different walks of different businesses and hobbies and whatever, so a little more varied there. This one, I don't know, might be a little more kind of insular, but we're going to find out.
I'm partial for a female drummer, so hopefully you have good luck dating her. Erich, do you have any upcoming appearances on the Purple Surplus or Anti-Reviews that I can look forward to?
Yeah, I'm going to be on a Terminator Genesis episode. I have no idea why.
Which channel?
For the Purple Colonel cast, for a Colonel. And then, wait, we already did our Penguin review. We're going to be watching a bunch of Batman shit on there. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys
More
are
so
doing
I don't think
the Killing Joke movie?
We will eventually, yes. That actually might be the next one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what the wheel landed on. I was raking when I listened to that.
I was so fucking pissed when that was the thing that was picked.
We know. I think there's one last little thing I got to drop in about the Flintstones film that really maybe this does make it a solid 4 out of 5. So there was a tie-in with McDonald's when this film was going on. You might have seen one of these glasses at your local thrift store. It's a glass material, drinking glass, got a handle like made out of rocks.
Oh, wow.
Which is very uncomfortable to hold, by the way. But I have owned one of these Flintstones drinking mugs in my life. But yeah, like the McDonald's Happy Meals or whatever at the time, they had these Flintstones glasses made out of glass with like a silly handle that's like made out of rocks and sticks. Like the sticks are coming out, and then like what you grasp on is like pebbles. So, you know, that was really greatest of all time McDonald's Happy Meal toy, if I do say so myself. Just for the culture, I had to mention it.
Didn't they have a cool glass Batman cup at one point? Because I think I had that as a kid for McDonald's.
I think as a child, about 50% of our dishware in our home was the McDonald's tie-in dishes that they released.
Back when they put in effort, and it was actually like a really cool mug that would last your whole life. Now, they gave us like, we got that new Shrek one, like had Shrek and Minions on it or something. I'm pretty sure when I put it in the dishwasher, like it's like getting shrunk, like just such a shitty material. But, you know, we're about to hit an hour. E-Rich needs to go do something else, and so do I.
Absolutely.
So let's get the hell out of here, folks. For the PCP, I've been me.
I've been we, because shout out to the power to the people. Power to the people. Let's go. All right, peace.
Holy shit.